Howdy everybody in YouTube land. What we have here to look at today is an Orion HCCA 150R. Looks like an old school type. I don't know exactly. I've never seen one of these before. This is the first one. Looks to be minty. I mean, it's in very, very good condition. Here's all your general settings over here. Rear and front. Well, it looks like a 4-channel maybe. We'll see. And of course, it's missing one of the Phoenix blocks. Not surprised. Should be readily available. Same thing. Is there ones over there? No. What are those? Front, rear, remote. Yeah, this is a 4-channel amp. So this is a big old Class AB 4-channel. So, let's see. What do we have on the bottom side? Has it ever been opened before? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Of course, my bench is too small for this big amplifier. It's in really good condition. The thing is practically mint. So I have, of course, I gotta take all these screws out in order to, because this is a folded bottom plate, just like over here. I gotta pull all these Phoenix blocks out and pull those fuses out. So, alright, well, let me get that done because I need both hands to do that. Alright, now I got the cover off. Looking at the insides, it appears to be a bit more modern. We've got this, looks to be a PIC microcontroller, which means this amp must have been manufactured by a company called Directed Electronics, because Directed Electronics has what's called a bit writer, so you can program keyless entry systems and stuff like that with one of these weird old school handheld devices. These could be programmed from the same device, and I'm thinking that's what this is all about. I bet you there's a bit writer plug somewhere on here. I don't see it though. Usually a bit writer plug. This one might have predated the bit writer. Maybe. There's a remote control, so maybe, a bit writer plug is just this little tiny JST connector where it's got 3 or 4 wires. You just plug into it, and then the bit writer powers up, and you can program this thing. You can set the security of it. You can set all the other little internal settings to the amplifier. You can unlock it because I've seen amplifiers get locked out when they're not communicating actively with the automobile security system that was also made by Directed Electronics. Remote start, stuff like that. It's all done by the bit writer protocol. So yeah, that's all part of this. Anyways, enough rambling on that. I don't see anything visually right off the top of my head that might be wrong with this thing. This could be yet another bad dirty switch thing. Let's see if we can figure out when this thing was manufactured. No, that date code doesn't tell me much. What about over here? 97, 98. So right around the same time period. DS1267. I think that's a digital potentiometer. There's another one here too. So this also controls those. So this thing has digital settings. Yeah, but I don't see the bit writer plug, because you got to use a bit writer to set this up. Anyways, I am noticing some things with the resistors, these marks, but I don't know. I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary. RCA jacks are a little loose, but they're not terrible. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to pull out the meter because these clips are in my way and I need both of my hands. So I'm going to pull out the meter here and start checking all these transistors real quickly. Okay, I checked all the transistors over here and I didn't really see anything, so I went ahead and hooked up the power supply. Remote connections over here, and nothing. No. Not even an attempt to start up. My worry is right there. That's my worry, because got a funny feeling that this microcontroller is either bad or locked out. Let's get this sticker off, figure out what's under here. It's a PIC 16C, which means it's a one-time programmable, so it can't be modified or erased. So, yeah, it's not working. Alright, looks like I'm going to have to do some troubleshooting to figure out why it's not working. Unless I've got something wrong here, but I don't think I do, because... yeah, so that's good. Alright, well, let me get the troubleshooting. So I did some quick voltage measurements here. There's nothing over there. So I did some quick voltage measurements over here, which is the switching controller, and I didn't see anything. So I'm checking everywhere. I got voltage here, but nowhere else. So something wasn't making sense. Then I started doing some continuity checks from here back through, following the remote wire back through to here, over to here, nothing. So then you can see I scratched a little bit off here, still got nothing. Scratched off between the capacitors, still got nothing. So then I scratched off over here, and I still got nothing. So there must be a break right there, right on J12. You can almost see where the solder mask is bubbled up a little. But yeah, it does not work. However, if I go right to where I scratched it off, I bet you, there it is. It's on, power on. Sure enough, go back over here, nothing. Go back where I scratched it off, so I can get it all in the frame here. Potentially. Here it is. Yeah, well, sort of. I gotta get a better bite on it. There it is. See, there you go. It's drawing current, and that's about right. Wow. So that would be hilarious if it was that easy to fix this thing. Literally a break right here at the remote connection. Well, let's scratch it off and solder it together. So I got the solder blob on here and all that's good. Now it's all hooked up to speakers. Still don't have any sound except on this one channel over here. None of the other channels have sound. So I'm sitting here, playing around with the switches and changing the adjustment, stuff like that, listening for noise or intermittence, and I didn't get anything. But what I did notice, and this goes back to the discussion I talked about, vibration damage, bad connections, things like that, stress fractures. I did notice this RCA jack is kind of loose. And then if you look carefully, look at that. It's broken right off. And then I'll see there's another one here that's broken off. That one's broken off. So, yeah, this one's still connected but bent. So yeah, this RCA jack is starting to break free from the board. And unfortunately, that's fairly common. It's stress fractures, vibration damage. So I got to fix that before I can test this amp, and I think that's what's wrong with it. So at least it's easy stuff, and I don't have to replace all these transistors or something. Okie dokie. I went ahead and patched all that stuff up. It's not the prettiest, but it'll do. It'll work. Had to sprout all the switches because it had the same problem, and then the way I did that was I simply took the board off. It made it easier. So I took the board off, sprayed it all out, put it back in. Now I'm all ready to do a sound test. Let's see what we have. Whoa. That's loud. Do I have both channels? Nope. So I have, or do I, hold on, wait a minute. I had it turned off. Huh, whoops. Alright, well, that's why that was. Alright, I got both channels. Everything's good. Let's check. Move this block out of this section. Let's move over here. All right. Should be the other knob. Gotta be my adjustment tool, which is just a screwdriver. Yep, there it is. Alright, turn that one down because I don't need it up. Yeah, all 4 channels are working. All 4 of them are working. Alrighty then, well, that concludes this video. Luckily it was an easy fix. It was just, there was a bad connection here, so the remote section was not turning on. So it just had a bunch of things stacked up against it. It turned out it was not the microcontroller, even though I have seen these go bad before. So remote, that fixed it, still didn't have any sound, and then that's because all these connections were broke from stress fractures. So I fixed all that, cleaned the switches out because they were staticky, and everything's all good. Everything's clean. Everything's going to work fine now. So that concludes the repair of this thing, and that also includes this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave one.